John 15 is the basis of Christian living. We're going to talk about the importance of abiding in Christ and Him abiding in us. Before we jump into the text, I want to give you guys a little context or background to the text. So the Old Testament frequently used vine or vineyard as a symbol for Israel, God's covenant people. And so their failure to produce fruit resulted in divine judgment. And that's something you can read in Isaiah 5:1-7. But Jesus, on the other hand, is the true vine. And we who are followers of Him abide in Him and produce fruit because of Him. And so going back to Isaiah again, you can see that the Israelites, they didn't produce true fruit. They didn't produce good grapes. They produced wild grapes. We have the gift of that when we believe in God. We also get changed by God. Our hearts get changed, right? And so He prunes us. And that's what we're going to see in John 15 today as well. So here we have John 15. And so we're going to just read a little bit of this. So Jesus says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. And He says, every branch in me that does not bear fruit, He takes away. And every branch that does bear fruit, He prunes that it may bear more fruit. The branches He takes away are the branches that did not bear fruit. So these would be people who profess Christ but are not genuine believers, right? They were never genuine believers. These would be people who said, I am a Christian, but I don't actually believe in Christ. The genuine believers, those who genuinely believe, are those who bear fruit. What is the reason behind that genuine believers bear fruit? Those who have genuine faith in Christ, they will have works, not because work saves them, but because they had faith, and when they put the faith in Christ, God is changing your heart and you will do good works for Him out of His love for you. And so you will bear fruit because you are saved, not to be saved, but because you are saved. And because you are saved, He will prune the branch that you may bear even more fruit. I want to mention that the pruning process can also hurt. But as we live in Christ, we can rejoice even in the pruning process. You might not always understand why you have your trials in your life. But what if there's a reason why you have your trials in your life? Paul said in 2 Corinthians, a thorn was given me in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to harass me, to keep me from becoming conceited. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord about this, that it should leave me. But He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong. So I think a part of what we see here is Paul being pruned. He's being pruned that he may bear more fruit. We see Jesus told him here, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, right? This is the mentality we should have as well, right? So that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Sometimes when God prunes to produce more fruit, it might hurt. But at the end of the day, we don't live for ourselves. I don't live my life for me. I live my life for Christ. He's the one that my lips and my heart will glorify. So going back to John 15, Jesus says, already you are clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. Abide in me and I in you. Abide in Him. Don't neglect prayer. Spend time praying. Trust Him. Obey Him and rejoice in Him. Abide in Christ and He in you. Let God prune you so that you can bear more fruit. And He goes on saying, as the branch cannot bear fruit by itself, so we cannot bear any good fruit without Jesus unless it abides in the vine, right? And so remember, Jesus is the true vine, right? So unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. So if you want to bear godly fruit, abide in Jesus. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit, for apart from me, you can do nothing. Anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown like a branch and withers. So if you don't abide in him, if you don't give up your life for him, if you never pray, if you never trust him, if you never obey, if you never rejoice in him, that might be a sign that you are not a genuine believer in Christ. That doesn't necessarily mean that you are not a believer, because when you first come to Christ, we won't have any works. But God will produce the works in us. And he goes on saying, and the branches are gathered, thrown into the fire, and burned. Don't neglect abiding in Christ so that you may produce your fruit. There will be people that profess Christ with their lips, but their heart is far away from God. Although Jesus spoke that of the Pharisees in the first place, I think we see some of that in the church today as well. And so these people would be those branches that profess Christ, but they don't want to deny themselves so that God can change their hearts. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. In another place, Jesus says, for you will know them by their fruits. You will know them by their fruits, because when you abide in Christ, he will abide in you. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be full. Make sure that you take time abiding in Jesus so that your branch can be pruned and you can bear more fruit. You're saved because you believe in him. And because you believe in him, you abide in him. And because you abide in him, he abides in you. Because he abides in you, your works will grow. And with that, live bold, speak truth, show love.